Last time we talked to you about spoofed calls and the importance of safeguarding your information over the phone. Today we want to talk to you about scams that typically impact our elderly community. And here are 4 ways that can help you identify if it's a scam. Scammers pretend to be a person or from an organization that you're familiar with. They can pretend that they're a relative that you might not talk to on the phone regularly, from a utility company that you actually do use, the Social Security Administration, and even your financial institution. Next, scammers will always present either a problem or a prize. For an example, they might say that there's something wrong with your computer and they need to remote in. You might have a relative that needs emergency medical attention, or they might say that you owe money to the government. Others might say that you've won something, but you have to pay a fee in order to get your earnings. And then they'll proceed to ask for either a card number or your online banking information or a routing number and account number. Scammers don't want to give you time to think about it. They'll even threaten you to act urgently. And lastly, scammers always have a specific way that they want you to pay them. Here's some ways that you can avoid or help your loved ones avoid these types of scams. The first one is the unwanted calls. Like we talked about in the last video, adding yourself to that do not call registry is going to help you prevent those unwanted calls, those unwanted tech support calls. Legitimate businesses cannot call you if you are on that do not call registry. So you can pretty much assume that anything outside of that is going to be a scammer. Another common scam that we see our elders falling victim to are the tech support scams. Typically what will happen is they'll say that you have a virus on your computer or you're going to lose all of your data. So they ask to first remote in, and then they gain control of your computer, and then they can log into all of your online banking information. And once they have that, they have everything that they need to steal your identity. So to safeguard your identity and your finances, make sure that you're not allowing tech support to remote into your computer from an unwanted or unsolicited call. Always look those companies up yourself or take your computer into an actual trusted computer shop. Now, I really want to cover imposter scams because this seems to be the most common that is targeting our parents and our grandparents. So the first type of imposter scam that we see a lot is charity fraud. So this is going to be where you're being pressured to donate to a company or an organization via, again, gift cards. Never donate via gift cards. Wire transfers, don't need it. Don't need to send a donation through wires. We also see a lot of times that they're asking for donations through Cash App, PayPal, any of those money transfer companies. Totally unnecessary. Please keep an eye out for that. So if you're looking to donate through a legitimate company like United Way, like St. Jude, remember that if they called you and you've already been added to that unwanted call list and added yourself to the do not call registry, you shouldn't be receiving those unsolicited calls. So always take it upon yourself to look up those organizations. Usually there's reps in those areas. You can go to their websites and actually fill out a form to donate money legitimately. The next type of imposter scam that I want to cover are the you've won scams. So the sweepstakes, the lotteries, you might have gotten an email or a phone call saying that you've won a trip. What happens next is they always say that you have to pay a fee in order to win. So that might be in the form of you have to pay taxes on it, or there's a 10% fee, or even there's a holding fee. So they need your debit card information, or they need your routing number and account number to hold that spot for you. This, of course, is how they gain access to your funds. So always keep your money and your information to yourself. The last thing I want to talk to you about is probably the most important because we see the most member loss on this side is the friendship and the online dating scams. So to start, of course, is the online dating scams. Make sure that when you're on these sites, you stay on those platforms. A lot of these sites are already being monitored by staff from that organization. And what will happen is that scammer then after 6 months, sometimes 7, 8, 9, an entire year worth of talking to you on that platform, will ask you then to step off of that platform and text you privately, call you privately, and this is where the scam actually starts. Once you're off that monitored platform, that's when we start to see transactions coming out of the accounts. they'll start asking for small amounts. Something will happen and they need money for this, or they have intent to come and see you. So then they're asking for little bits of money at a time. And then slowly we start to see that escalate. And we're talking in the $1,000 range at a time. We've unfortunately even seen cases where homes are being sold and those funds are being sent to other financial institutions that don't have a relationship like we do with the members, and they wire it out and it's gone. It's so important that you trust your financial institution. I know that it's so invasive when you're in here and we're asking questions, and it's a list of questions when you just want to send a wire, or we see something pop up in your account and we call you just to verify it. We know it's annoying. We don't like to do it either, but we want to keep your finances safe and your identity safe. And the only way that we can do that is if you're honest with us. We need that full picture in order to tell if you are being scammed. We are able to identify scams on a daily basis, sometimes when it's a little bit harder for you to see it. So we just ask that you trust us and you're honest with us. And also know that this might not always present itself as a romantic relationship. They could be approaching you in the form of a friend or a friendship, and they could also be impersonating a distant relative. While everybody could fall victim to these types of scams, we see a heavy impact with our parents and our grandparents. Since the scams that we talked about today are targeting your personal information, the next video, we want to cover identity theft. In that video, we're going to touch on how to identify, how to prevent, and how to recover from identity theft.